Hi, I'm going to walk you through the exercise fast forward financial statements. So as you can see at the top, we have our accounting equation, we have our accounts listed, and we have the dollar amounts. These can also be found in the PowerPoints for Chapter 1. So we're taking this information, we're going to prepare our financial statements. The first statement we're going to prepare is our income statement. And an income statement is for a period of time. For this example, it's for the month ended. It could also be for a quarter ended or for the year ended. Our income statement is going to show our revenue and expenses. So first we're going to look at our equity section of the accounting equation for our revenue and expenses. We're going to list our revenue first. And we have two sources. We had some consulting revenue and some rental revenue. This is for a total of $6,100. Right here you can't see the detail, but it is in the PowerPoints as to where it's coming from. We're next going to list our expenses. So while we see we have a total of $1,700, it's made up of two different expenses as noted in the PowerPoints. Rent expense and salaries expense for total expenses. To determine net income, we take our revenue minus our total expenses, and that gives us our net income. We then go to the next financial statement, which is the statement of retained earnings. This one is going to show and start with our beginning retained earnings. For this company, it was 0 because this is the first year of our business. Then we're going to add our net income and total it. We're then going to subtract our dividends. Again, here's the dividends as part of the equity section. So we have $200 we're going to subtract. And then we determine our ending retained earnings. So the retained earnings statement, again, is for a period of time. This one's for the month ended. It begins with first beginning retained earnings. We add net income. We subtract dividends. We end up with our ending retained earnings. We're then going to prepare our balance sheet. We're going to use the retained earnings as part of our balance sheet. The balance sheet looks like the accounting equation. So we're going to use our assets, we're going to use our liabilities, and common stock and retained earnings. So first we're going to list our assets. As you can see, we have our cash, supplies, equipment, and then our total. That's coming from up here. We have our cash, $4,800. Accounts receivable is 0, so it's not going to be listed. We have our supplies and our equipment for a total of $40,400 right here. We had one liability account, accounts payable, so we're going to list that. And we have our common stock of $30,000. We're going to list that in the equity section. Our retained earnings comes from the statement of retained earnings. Then we're going to give it total of total liabilities and equity. And as you can see, total assets equal total liabilities plus equity.